Hello and welcome to this very late night, or potentially early morning edition of the Chris Chan Weekly Update. Today we're going to be summarizing the news that came out in the first day of the Chris's hearing saga. Yesterday, July 28th, was of course the day that we have long been waiting for, Chris's final hearing appearance. The last couple times he was to appear in court for his hearing, he got a continuance. It was theorized for a while that that would not happen this time because the 1-year anniversary of his arrest is coming up. If they don't charge him with a felony, then they cannot hold him for longer than 1 year in jail. At about 2:30 in the afternoon on the 28th, Kenneth Engelhart, the owner and operator of the Onion Farms and the guy who's been writing and leaking a lot of Chris's letters, called the county jail and asked them about the outcome of Chris's hearing. He was told that Chris's case was to go before a grand jury. YouTuber Cotton Mather was also able to verify this information and recorded his phone call with the county clerk. The following clip comes from his YouTube video, which will be linked in the description.
Green District Court, this is Sarah. How can I help you?
Hi, I was calling about the standards about the Chandler case.
It's been certified to grand jury.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Personally, based on the tone of the clerk who answered the phone, I believe that a lot of people probably called with the same question. This seemingly guarantees that Chris's case is in fact going before a grand jury. I feel the need to reiterate, because I've seen a lot of people misusing terms on Twitter today, that today was not Chris's trial. Today was Chris's hearing. The grand jury is also not the trial. The hearing was just to decide what would actually happen with the case. The purpose of grand juries is usually to decide whether or not the prosecution has enough evidence to go forward with the charges. In a case like this, they would gather a large group of people, probably around 20 people, and the state will present their evidence to those jurors. The jurors then will decide whether or not they think that that's reasonable enough evidence to prosecute Chris. They do not need to determine his guilt. They do not need to use the standard of beyond the shadow of a reasonable doubt. They just need to determine whether or not there is evidence for Chris's crime. Basically, the state wants reassurance from its citizens that they have a reason to bother prosecuting. Kenneth has claimed that the reason for the grand jury is to see whether or not there's enough evidence for a felony. There's multiple felonies that they could charge Chris with. Obviously, the biggest would be rape. And it's important to keep in mind that currently Chris is only charged with the misdemeanor of incest. He has not been charged with rape, or abuse of elderly, or any other such crimes. It's unclear if Chris is going to be released on the anniversary of his arrest at this point. It's unclear on what date the grand jury will convene, but based on how these things normally go, it'll probably be a couple weeks, if not months. I personally think it'll probably be a few days before Chris is able to write a letter to one of his normal contacts who then leak it out to the public. Chris will of course have been told whether or not he's going to be staying in jail, if his crimes have been upgraded to a felony, and what the date of his next court appearance will be. I don't expect there to be a lot of news for the rest of today, the 29th, but if there is, then I will update you with another video tonight. A lot of this information was stuff that I posted on Twitter throughout the day, so if you want more up-to-the-minute info, you can follow me there at GiBi_Devin. With that said, that is not all of the news that came out. A mere 1 hour ago, Kenneth Engelhart uploaded the entirety of his 14th letter with Chris. Previously, only a single sentence of this had been released on the Kiwi Farms, but now we have Chris's entire message. It's only 1 page, and it's dated July 14th. Chris says, "Hey Kenneth, I am on board for the idea of the fan and support website. Do note, however, for the time being, until after when my body and I are returned home to the Sonichu Temple, Helena's prophetic powers, insight, and present chroniclings aside, as they are more in tune with this timeline and present events in that which was most resonant and vibrational with her in which, I do realize I could have worded that better, but it's been a long day. I feel ya. And of course, that from my works, insights and everything, personally aside as well." That 5 lines there was supposed to be an aside, a digression. The sentence should read, "Until I return from the temple, all other Sonichu/Rosechu fanfics remain non-canon." So he's saying that His own works and some of Helena's works are canon, but until he gets home and can verify the fanfics, they should not be considered canon. Specifically, not canon with the present and past year events and happenings in both halves of Universe 1C211987. In this prime timeline we literally live in as we speak now and so forth. And I add in validation, Caden Prater is genuinely one who is able to speak on my behalf when appropriate, and is in friendship and business association with I in mutual agreements. Include him on the Fan Project website. Period. Please. Thank you, Englehart. Be safe and well. Mrs. Jesus Christ Chan Sonichu. Now, I don't mean to be, toxic and arrogant here, but I don't personally think that Caden should be considered someone who can speak for Chris while he's away. I don't really, agree with the fact that he might have Chris's best interest at heart. But Chris certainly thinks that he does, so that's saying something that I guess. Thank you for watching. Once again, if there's any relevant news today, I will upload another video tonight. It has been a very long day, and a very long year.